Guys, after 10 years in the making, Barbell's new athletic fit jeans are finally here. The fabric is new, the features are innovative, and with feedback from hundreds of elite athletes and thousands of customers, these jeans are better than ever. Friday, April 7th is the launch date, and they will sell out. So text the word Barbell to number 48281. That's going to put you on the wait list so you can be sure that you will get a pair before they're gone. Tim Sylvia's name came up. You know what, guys? I am compelled to come and defend Tim Sylvia for whatever he's going to face through social media. I don't know if there's ever been a guy that we have been more unfair or flat out mean to. And you know why I say it like that? Because you wanted to set it to him. But there was something where the rules didn't apply. You could be mean to Tim Sylvia because he was big enough and he could handle it. He was the world champion. And he was making a bunch of money. Like, there was something about that. But I do feel that he is the most misunderstood guy in the sport. He's the most misunderstood guy that I've met. If you want to read a book by the cover, you got the wrong guy. Tim is about the sweetest guy you're ever going to come across. You can have a phone call with him. You could be texting with him, and you can sense the happiness within his heart. Like, he's this really misunderstood guy. And then Tim, at one point, Jeremy Horn was telling me this. We were in a van, and Jeremy Horn was breaking down Tim's UFC career, and it was insane. I think he had one fight, Tim Sylvia, I think he had one fight that wasn't a world title fight. Now, Tim had more left in his career, so if you go and chat and that stat isn't accurate, at the time Jeremy was saying, and I hadn't realized it, and this was at a time, guys, when main events weren't 5 rounds. Only world title fights are. Now, usually the main event was for a world title, but not always. I'll throw an example from that time frame. Rashad Evans and Quentin Jackson. 3 rounds, but it was a main event. Huge business, too. People wanted to see this fight. It was crazy. So Tim Sylvia this was some pretty hard lifting. And not to mention, Tim did not have the background that most guys in that position did. He was not like the Nogueira brothers, where he had been doing jiu-jitsu, where he went to a junior high in 7th grade where they have a PE class where they make you do jiu-jitsu. It was nothing like that. Where he came through the Division I ranks and was a wrestler his whole life, where he came through and he had Olympic aspirations and he was a Golden Glove boxer. It wasn't like that. It was on day one and he gets thrown in. I mean, the toughest room that you could be in is the one he got thrown in. He's got Matt Hughes, he's got Jens Pulver, he's got Rich Franklin, just by example, just right off the top of my head. It's coached by Pat Miletich, you got Robbie Lawler's in the room. Monty Cox is helping with all of these guys. They look around, they believe in Tim, and they give him a push. And it turned out, as you saw when he won the world championship, it was wise. That was the right guy. I had a chance to work out with Tim. Tim came to Portland. He was helping, I was going to say he was helping Randy Couture, but that's not it. Randy was helping him. Tim was the one. Tim was the one getting ready for something, and Randy was retired. But when Randy retired, it never felt like retirement. He would come into practice every day, twice a day, and he'd work really hard. But none of us thought he was coming back. We just accepted that because Randy was, one of those workout maniacs where that's just the life that they lived. Not to mention he owned the gym and was training guys. So when he'd come in and get the workout in, you could chalk that up to, oh yeah, well, that was just Randy running practice. At any rate, I'm just giving you a time frame. Tim came out to Oregon, and I go with him one time. And I remember he put me in a collar tie. We're on our feet, and he collar ties me. So I've got to clear this arm, right? I got to clear the hand, the forearm, and everything above the elbow up to the shoulder. I've got to get that off of me. And I did. And I was done. I stopped the round. I was done. I cleared that collar tie, and my energy was shot. I could not go. I went and got water. I came back. I had an ego too, but I'll never forget that collar tie. I know right where we were standing. And I remember how I was trying to get that big son of a bitch off me. So Tim has this great attitude. Everybody likes him. Somewhere along the way, Tim ends up with a beef with leadership. And I can't remember that story. And the reason I can't remember it, I'm not sure I ever knew it. I'm not sure either side, the second floor of the offices or Tim, ever said what the fight was about. Because that's the kind of thing that I would come across. I don't know. Tim's now coming back. And he's going to, and somewhere in the wild, Tim retires in 2015, does some grappling events. Somewhere along the way, becomes a police officer, and he might even be a police officer right now. And I think he moved home. I think he left Iowa, and I believe he went back to Maine. He's now been announced that he's going to go and do the slap. Now, I'm a little bit lost in the slap, and I don't want to be. I'm a little bit lost. I thought there was one organization that was doing slaps. I thought it was Dana's. I knew that they were doing something like that in Russia. I had seen the clips on YouTube. But when they came to America and they were getting sanctioning, I thought the only one doing it was Dana's organization. And his organization is called Slap. But there's somebody else that's also doing it, who's also got Slap in the title. That's where it gets a little confusing. Like one's the Slap Fest and the other's the Slap Show and the other's the Slap League and these guys are just Slap. It's a little bit confusing. And I only say that because when I first saw that Tim was coming back, I thought, okay, him and Dana have worked it out. Tim is coming back. He's going to do Dana's. This is a really great story. You're actually taking the world heavyweight champion in free fight. Like, think about this when a boxer gets in there. Could you even imagine yourself? Could you even, no matter how tough you are, no matter how brave you are, could you even imagine agreeing to take a shot from Mike Tyson with no glove on? I don't want to tell you anything else than that. I don't care if you're I don't care if it's a backhand. I don't care if it's straight, if you're closing the knuckles, if it's an uppercut, if it's a hook. I won't give you any more details. Will you take an open-handed slap from Iron Mike Tyson? You're going to stand there. You're going to take it. He's going to give full strength. Oh, and by the way, he's not going to have a glove on. And you can't turn away. Do you see where things just changed? Do you see where things just changed? If the slap champion, but he's got to go against Foreman. He's got to go against Fury. Or in this case, he's got to go against the Maniac. I'm a tough guy. Certified a tough guy. I went with the Maniac. He grabbed me by the neck. I got his hand off of my neck, and then I had to go sit down. Somebody is going to stand there, and they're going to get hit by the world heavyweight champion, who's not going to be wearing a glove. Do I have to tell you anything else? Or can we all admit that we're interested? Can we all admit that we wish Tim well? And can we all admit that we expect Tim to win?